Welcome back to the Talking Content podcast. We've got a special guest for you today. Nic Fren from Bespoke Media Group is joining us to talk all things content marketing that he does in his business, what he does for his personal brand, what's performing best for his personal brand, and also some of the strategies that he implements for his clients as well. You're going to get to see exactly what type of content is best performing right now, and you're going to want to copy it. So sit back and join us in today's episode.
I think because I think your first question was just that, and it's or your most successful post or the one that had the most impact, and it's a recent one. It's the rant I had at Gold Coast Airport after the flight was delayed, and it's ridiculous because that was just I'm sitting here, I'm stuck for 2 hours, I'm going to do some content. It went viral on TikTok. It took off on Instagram, and I got 3 new members from it because it was just like that was the and it kind of comes into what's worked and what hasn't. It's just like it's the stuff that it's the stuff that you don't spend time on that just performs, whereas it's like you spend time on it. That was me having a rant. I had to catch public transport. I'm not a public transport person. You could see that in the stories along the day. It was me bored, but it actually generated business because everyone sort of got engaged kind of thing with it. So that was, yeah.
How cool is that? And are you noticing that as a theme, like with your clients as well, that it's the real, raw, off the cuff, didn't put any effort into it that is performing better?
Look, I think so, Ellen, because it's social. People go there for entertainment. They go there like, look, you do go there to learn, but I think it depends what platforms you're on. If I want to learn something, I'll go to like let's say YouTube, for instance, and search it in. But Instagram, you're flicking through stuff. You might have 5 minutes downtime. You're flicking through stuff. You don't want to see a monologue. You just want to see people having fun.
Yeah. So for those people who don't know you yet,
Yes.
Nic Fren, do you want to introduce yourself and tell people what you do as a day job?
Okay, well, thank you, Ellen. Great to be here. I'm Nic Fren. What I do, I don't know. I do a bit of everything, but I think the core of what we do is, I suppose, help people build their brand and nurture their online presence. We've been doing it now for about 7 years. I've been in real estate for 20 years, and over that time, it's become a bit of a passion helping people. And I think watching the way the industry has kind of gone over that past 7 years and seeing the evolution of how you can get to market quicker, how you can get your brand out there. What I love about social media is it gives everybody an equal playing field, everyone a chance. So yeah, that's pretty much what we do in a nutshell.
So I want to ask you then, you've
Yeah.
been doing this for 7 years.
Yeah.
How has your content marketing strategy changed for your business, but also for your clients? What did you do then that you don't do now?
You know what? I don't think there's a lot that I don't do differently to the way that I always used to do it. And I started on social back in 2012, back when it was Facebook pages may have been around. I don't know. I wasn't on them. This is pre-Instagram, or Instagram might have been around, but I wasn't on it in 2012. But I was talking to my friends. So I was the agent that had 11 listings on the board and couldn't sell any of them. They were overpriced. I couldn't get VPA. I just moved to the eastern suburbs of Sydney from Newcastle, and I was hustling. You remember those old OFI books? I'd called all of them, the last 10 years, couldn't do anything. So the only thing I had at my disposal was I just started doing videos and posts on my personal page. And it was always, hey guys, like here I am. And I was so unprofessional. I was in a singlet and a t-shirt walking down Pottsmore or King's Cross, for those who don't know. And I found the fact that I was talking to my friends, I'd always just sort of carried that through, even till today. It's still my content is still me basically sitting on the lounge in a t-shirt and cap, because that's what's worked for me. I think I'm probably at a point now what I don't do as much anymore. I probably don't feel the need to go and beat my chest about we're established. I think that's the thing. We're established now. So a lot of the stuff that we put out is, I suppose, more educational rather than promo. Like, look how good, of course, we still do the promo stuff. But it's more that educational. And I think that is what we've changed is we don't need to be, we're not the new kid on the block anymore. We're established. And I think our messaging is more that authoritarian kind of thing rather than the I want and need your business. Like I love your business, but I'd like to educate the industry as well.
Yeah, I like that. So I want to ask about your content creation process because I know that you do a whole bunch of stuff off the cuff, but do you plan stuff in advance as well?
No,
It's all off the cuff.
yeah,
So,
because I think like I have planned in the part. Look, the only things I really planned are the Mother's Day post, the Father's, the stuff that you know. I plan that for my business. No, not necessarily. For my client's business, 100%. Because we're in real estate, we know there's the fundamentals. We know on a Friday you got your open homes tomorrow. We know Tuesday tip. We know the day is like a Monday is a bit of a dead day, so don't go and post your greatest content on a Monday kind of thing. So for them, yes, we schedule. For me, I think that forms part of why my stuff works is I think people are like, yeah, what's this crazy guy up to today kind of thing. And it's almost like I'm on the journey with you guys because I don't know what the day is going to bring. And yeah,
so like so many of my clients and the people who listen to this podcast feel a lot of pressure around making sure that they've got content and getting it online. Do
yeah.
you experience that, especially because you're not planning in advance? Like, do you feel pressure to create?
I don't because as you know, I've got my fingers in a lot of pies. So there's always content coming from somewhere. And I think to answer your question about the content, if I was trying to plan my content with my publications, stuff like that, that changes at the drop of a hat. So I couldn't really for that. But for people struggling to plan and worrying about getting the content just right and all that kind of thing, we spoke about earlier about the video that I did at the airport. And for anyone that knows me, knows I'm not a public transport person. And I think that's why that video took off because you could see the authenticity. And I think that's the thing, that's what people want to see. So when it comes to your content, I think that the mistake I see with a lot of people is trying to get it just right. And yeah, I think that for anyone watching, people love the authenticity. You're not going to get it right. You're not going to win a deal based on one video or one post. It's the consistency, I suppose, of the content.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, because you're posting so much content so frequently and across multiple brands,
Yeah.
have you had any content that you thought would perform really well and it really hasn't?
Yeah. I mean, there's some stuff that you put out, and again, it comes into the time and effort you put into a video, or the messaging that you think that this is really going to have an impact, and it just falls flat. And I can think of a lead generation post I put out a couple of weeks ago where we got, and it was even an email as well. I think it was 6 leads for whatever spend it was. And I thought, surely this has got to get me some inquiry.
I
And
saw it.
crickets, nothing. But this is the thing, Ellen. This is where it's like social is it baffles my mind. The less effort you put into potentially something can take off, the more effort, although the one that you think this is the one, this is what's going to get me the business, nothing.
It's so bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
So bizarre.
yeah.
So, with the content that has performed well,
Yep.
have you reused or repurposed any of that?
Yes. And that's a great point, actually, because I think I do a lot, and I know we follow each other on social. I do a lot of screenshots because that's how lazy I am. I'll screenshot something and put it up. But if something worked like a year ago, or a video worked, I'll still share on TikTok, for instance. He got the memories. You posted this 12 months or so ago. If that video worked, why not give it another run? I've got new followers now to what I had 12 months ago that have never seen that content. Um, and let's be honest, with the amount of content that we're getting thrown at us, people aren't going to remember what you posted last week or 2 weeks or so ago, especially on stories.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because stories are just, I mean, they're gone
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you'd never remember.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, I'm a big fan of it. If it worked, why not reuse it?
that's exactly right. Exactly right. So you're on a bunch of social media platforms, but I also know that you have a decent email database
Yep.
as well. Of all of your content distribution channels,
Yes.
What's the big one for you?
I'm going to decimate my business here when I answer this question. It's the email. It's the email database. But there's two reasons why the email database works. It's because I send it out on a Sunday afternoon.
I was going to ask you about this.
Yeah, my second my second lead generation platform would probably be Instagram, followed by TikTok, followed by LinkedIn. But with the email, I send mine out. I think it's 2 or 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and there's two reasons. Number one, my demographic are real estate agents, and most real estate agents, if they're in sales, for instance, they're watching those emails because they want to know if an offer's come in or something like that. So they're on the phone, they're engaged, but I have got no competition. Nobody is emailing anyone on a Sunday afternoon, and people have got time to read it. They've got time to actually read it. I know what I'm like. I get bombarded at 10 o'clock on a Monday, and it's literally just highlight and delete. I'm not reading it. I haven't got time. If I just see, yep, no, that's not a response to an email. But yeah, but a catchy subject line.
To hook them in, make
Yeah,
them open it.
100%. And that's where
Yeah.
ChatGPT can help you.
Yes. Do you test your subject lines?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
I always go in, and I'll be, okay, a subject line. I need people to open this. Give me like a teaser. Yep, great. And I'll give you two or three. And I'll pick the best one. And then I think I did one the other day. It was just like a paragraph that led into the story. I need people to open this link and it like make this juicy enough and spicy enough to get them to the article. So ChatGPT, look, it's only as good as the instructions that you give it, but powerful. I can't tell you. My business now, we run on ChatGPT, and I know you've got a little bit of a different way of doing it with your human eyes. You won't send anything out until what, two humans have seen it?
Yeah, that's our rule. Nothing gets published until two humans have checked it. But we love AI for
Yeah,
that reason. We build a bunch of custom GPTs and love it.
yeah.
And it's good.
Well, it takes a lot of the heavy lifting off. And
Yeah.
I probably, honestly, Ellen, I use it more now than Google. If I want to know something, I'll go and ChatGPT. I can't even tell you the last time I Googled something.
Me too. I'm finding the same thing if I'm struggling to use a piece of software, I
Okay,
will
yes.
ask ChatGPT to help me figure it out rather than going to the help desk of that
I
software.
I did this yesterday. I'm trying to build an app for one of our platforms, and it got rejected by Apple on this one thing. And I'm sitting, because you know how tech savvy I am. I'm sitting there going, it's been rejected. That's all I know. There's all these words in here. I've got no idea. Screenshot that, upload it to ChatGPT and said, what does this mean? And because our membership is secure, you've got to have a membership. What they're actually saying is we can't get into it. So ChatGPT actually prompted me, set them up a dummy account with an email and a password to get in. And I'm sitting there going, oh, I would have paid someone $5,000 for this. But it actually broke it down. And it's crazy how supportive ChatGPT can be.
So I want to ask you on that,
Yeah.
where are you seeing that agents, property managers are not using ChatGPT in areas that they could be using it?
I think, okay, from a sales perspective, I had this chat with a member of mine the other day. If you know you're going into, let's say, a two-bedroom apartment for a listing for a sale in Double Bay, type into ChatGPT, who is the demographic to buy a two-bedroom apartment in Double Bay, and it'll spit it out. I did one the other day. It was Emily. I think she was 33, and this was her job. She was earning X amount, and she's going to move here for this, and blah 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 blah. Great. Give me 4 social media videos that I can do for Emily. So bang, she's moving here because of this, and this. Great. So I'm sitting in front of you at the listing presentation, and our social media is our jam. So I'll be sitting here and saying to you, Ellen, look, this is what I like to do. I'd like to get a video that encompasses absolutely everybody, because we don't want to miss out on anybody, right? But what I'd like to also do, everyone talks about social media, but here is a report, and that AI has generated. This is probably the buyer for your property, and this is why they want to buy this particular property in this particular area. So what I'd like to do while we're getting the video done, I'd like to shoot 4 30-second different videos that speak to this particular reason. Close to parks, close to the cafes. It's the first time. It's school catchments here in Sydney's East. They like to buy to be in a particular school catchment. So we're really going to zero in, because a lot of people will just say, we'll do social media. What does that mean? It means we're going to throw $250 on an ad. Okay, great. But you're not hitting the buyer. We're going to go and target that buyer. So that's where I see a lot of people. It's like ChatGPT is there. It can help you win listings for managements, for BDMs out there. Same thing, exact same rule. Or how to respond to a tenant I've had to do this recently for myself. How to respond to an email that's come through that's, there's something happening on either end, and remove emotion. And I think that's the thing is I love ChatGPT in that particular aspect, especially for property managers. I know it's a high pressure job. Just remove emotion.
Yeah, you're so right, because so much of the emails that certainly my clients are getting
Yeah.
are emotionally charged.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to be able to type into ChatGPT, here's the email that I got, here's what I want to send.
Yeah.
Can you make it sound a bit more appropriate?
Non-emotional, professional, still accept their point of view, but hold your ground. And it'll just spit it out. And yeah. So what I love about it from a PM's point of view, just take that emotional side out of it and it's done. Let ChatGPT be your emotions, and respond. Yeah.
Yeah. And quite often when ChatGPT gives you the response, I sometimes feel like it's almost a little bit validating, because it says,
Yes.
I hear what you're saying and I hear that you're frustrated, but here's a more professional,
Yeah.
less emotional version. And I feel like my feelings get validated
Yeah.
just because ChatGPT acknowledges that I'm
Yeah.
mad about something.
Yes, I actually had an instance the other day. I felt like ChatGPT was my counselor, because I'm sitting there. I had something really terrible happen, and I'm sitting there. Why is this happening? Blah 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 blah, and it just kept punching this stuff out, and I'm sitting there. Okay, great, great. I've just saved
I
myself two
feel so much better.
on counseling. Yeah.
Now, I would imagine you use a bunch of tech tools, things like that. What are your top couple of apps, tech, things like that you're using to make your content creation easier?
So CapCut is got to be number one. For anyone out there wondering, when you see all those little words popping up on the screen, that's CapCut. I don't know how, I know we pay for it. I don't think it's a lot. I think it's like $12 or something a month, but that gets you access to the whole suite of all the different fonts, the colors, the music, and all that kind of stuff. I use that. Buffer for my clients, the corporate clients that we work with. I use that to schedule their posts. I love Buffer because obviously you can have all your social media accounts and pick the one that you want to do. You upload the content once, you pick where you want to spit it out to, and it spits it all out, but it also reports for you. And I think the reporting is, for me, it's very easy to digest. I don't like those reports where it's like, what am I looking at, the graphs and all that kind of stuff. I like that, but even and of course Canva, for templates and all that kind of stuff. I think there's the bulk upload thing in Canva. I know it's there. I've used it once or twice. I think it's great. I haven't used it a lot, but I love Canva for the fact that the templates designs are in there.
The bulk uploader, is that where you throw a bunch of stuff into a sheet and
Yeah.
then throw it across, or do you mean scheduling from within Canva?
No, but great. But you can schedule from within Canva. That's awesome. But no, the bulk upload thing, it's like, let's say for argument's sake, top 25 buyer tips, right? Or 25 property management tips. You have your heading. So this week's top tip. Then you have your caption kind of thing, which is written within the post. And you've got those two things on a spreadsheet. You bulk upload that. So you create the image, number one, to the template. Then you highlight the heading, which is from the property manager, from the property manager's desk. That's column 1. Then you have within there the caption or the actual main text, and it auto populates 25 images with all the different the text. So for people, when it comes to content creation, go to ChatGPT, ask for the top 25 tips in whatever field you're in, download that to a Google spreadsheet, upload that to bulk update in your Canva, create one template, and click, boom, you got 25 posts done.
That's your next 25 weeks of Tuesday tips.
Exactly right.
Done for you. And if you are listening to this and you're not quite sure how to do it, Canva has instructions on how to do it, or ChatGPT can teach you how to do that. So just ask.
Yes, just ask. Yep.
Cool. So Nic, as we're coming to the end of this episode, I would love to just ask you if you could only create one piece of or one style of content for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
What would it be?
Video. I just find that the people connect with video. I love video. I also feel that for me, I look at it, like I said, I've been in real estate 20 years. My prospecting days are done. My calling days are finished. But I like video for a couple of reasons. I can connect with people. And I do see, if I can get 400 or 500 views on a video, that's equivalent of making 400 or 500 phone calls if the message is strong enough. So to anyone who is listening to this, doesn't matter what department or area of real estate you're in, it doesn't really matter whether you've got 100 followers or 10,000. You can have, I've seen people that have got 100 followers and they're making sales or they're leasing property through social media. And it's because they're connecting, they're giving a voice. It's the equivalent. If you get 50 people that watch your video, that's 50 phone calls. So yeah, I like video.
And I firmly believe that when you are at your lowest follower count, I feel like you know those people.
Yeah.
And those people know you. And it's almost as though you have more, I want to say intimacy, but certainly more connection with those people, that once you're over 100 followers, you just lose that. So when you're first starting, it's like this gold time.
Look, Ellen, and I think the thing is too, it's like I've seen it. Now, I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram. I've got about 3,000. That's not a massive amount of followers, but I still struggle to keep up with. You've been on the receiving end of this. I struggle to keep up with the DMs that come in, and it might take me a while to get back to people because there's so much going on. And I think look after the followers that you have. If they comment on something, respond to it. If they send you a DM, respond to it, because 10,000 followers, it doesn't mean that you're going to get any more business. If you can't look after the followers like me, if you can't look after the followers that you've already got, what are you going to do with another 5 or 10,000 of them? So just nurture those followers, give them good content, and you will transact business.
Oh, that is like the perfect way to end, Nic. Now, if people want to connect with you on social media, we'll link everything in the show notes, but where would you like them to come and find you?
At Nic Fren on Instagram. Thanks, Ellen.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for being here, Nic.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.